Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and welcome back to Commander Week. Today's video will focus on Eternal Bargain, the Esper Commander deck featuring Oloro, Ageless Ascetic. Similar to Mind Seize and Evasive Maneuvers, we have another deck that plays more control, this time with a heavy emphasis on life gain. Alluro, Ageless Ascetic is the first and only commander to have an effect while in the command zone. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 2 life if Oloro's in the command zone. This is an interesting design choice by Wizards to give a commander a continuous effect in a different zone, almost similar to a Vanguard card, giving a player an additional bonus or detriment during the game. Life gain is fairly harmless, and 2 life a turn is not going to break any games, so it's a very ambitious yet safe design concept. Oloro has 2 abilities when it's actually in play. The ability to gain 2 life on each of your upkeeps, and also the ability to draw a card and force each opponent to lose 1 life whenever you gain life. This is an ideal control card, as it generates card advantage and slows the game down with a modest amount of life gain. Oloro also enables itself, which means you don't have to overcommit to life gain in order to make it work. Cards such as Serra Ascendant will make Alluro better without weakening the overall strength of the deck. Alluro creates a new line of decision making of whether you want to keep it in play or in the command zone. Naturally, when you can't cast it, it stays out of play and gains you life, but there will be situations where you have to decide to keep it in the command zone or cast it to gain access to its other abilities. Alluro is decently sized as a 4/5, but has no evasion or special abilities in combat, making it pretty vanilla if you plan to attack with it. The card was designed for control, so you will likely have to find another win condition, as Alluro will just work to get you closer to it. Alluro is just going to sit in play and draw cards while gaining life and doing modest damage. The other challenge with Alluro will be protecting it. With no protection or evasion, it won't be too difficult for opponents to put it back in the command zone or worse in your library. Naturally, Alluro will never do nothing if you can't get it into play, but it becomes significantly worse stuck in the command zone considering what it does in play. This drawback applies to all commanders really. How negatively it affects your deck is based on the strength of the deck without its commander. We recommend building decks that aren't overly reliant on its commander, but some strategies do require the right commander to succeed. Oloro is expensive to cast, so barring a heavy amount of protection in your deck, it will spend more time in the command zone, probably more than you like. Without any kind of acceleration, it will gain you 12 life without even doing anything. I don't anticipate the life gain will save you very often, but the considerable length of commander games means you're going to gain a significant amount of life. But you are likely not playing your commander just to gain 2 life on each of your turns. Eternal Bargain is heavily invested in the life gain theme, attempting to draw as many cards off Alluro as possible. Disciple of Gristlebrand, Wall of Reverence, and Viscopa Guildmage stall for time in order for you to get to Filigree Angel, Divinity of Pride, or Sphinx of the Steel Wind. The creatures in Eternal Bargain are surprisingly strong, with Myr Battlesphere, Tidal Force, and Serra Avatar all strong enough to win a game. The deck gains enough life to reliably cast these expensive but potentially game-ending creatures. The deck is also supplemented by various life gain centric cards. Sanguine Bond acts as another win condition. Well of Lost Dreams allows you to draw cards when you gain life, similar to Alluro, and Cradle of Vitality to put 1/1 counters on a creature whenever you gain life. Ajani's Pridemate is a decent creature as well, as it basically gets a 1/1 counter every turn from Alluro. A portion of the deck allows you to use some of that extra life gain constructively. You can draw cards with Greed or Phyrexian Gargantua, or dig through the deck with Limdul's Vault. Toxic Deluge and Reckless Spite become removal spells with virtually no drawback at a high enough life total, or use Phyrexian Reclamation to retrieve more creatures. Eternal Bargain is likely the heaviest invested of the 5 decks in its primary theme, but still has a relevant sub-theme in the form of artifacts. Sidri Galvanic Genius and Sharum the Hegemon both are artifact-centric generals that can be built around. The deck contains 17 artifacts, enough to ensure that Sharum or Razor Hippogriff will reliably retrieve an artifact, and that Sharding Sphinx will net you a couple creatures in the process. Financially, you get 1 Kongming Sleeping Dragon, which is currently worth $38, but will definitely drop with the increase in supply. It may settle along the lines of 10 to 15 once all the Commander product is released. After that, there isn't much value in the remainder of the deck. Divinity of Pride has been printed twice, which will make it drop even more, along with Wall of Reverence, Sphinx of Steelwind, and Well of Lost Dreams. Then again, the above cards are only worth about $3 to $4 each, so there isn't much value to lose on reprints. Sidri, Galvanic Genius, is effectively Karn's Silver Golem in 3 more colors, which immediately makes it better. Along with Active Authority, expect to see them be worth a couple of bucks each and see a decent amount of play in Commander. Tempt with Immortality and Toxic Deluge are both solid spells with potential as well. There's a variety of spells to add to Eternal Bargain if you're looking to support the life gain theme. Venser's Journal combos well with Oloro to both fill up your hand and increase your life total significantly. Add in Necropotence and you have an amazing draw engine with virtually no drawback. If you decide to keep the Thopter Foundry in the deck, I strongly consider playing Sword of the Meek as well. This combo has seen a decent amount of constructed play, and while it would not be as powerful in Commander, it makes for an excellent draw engine with Alluro or Well of Lost Dreams in play. Serra Ascendant is a must-play in this deck, as it is a faster, often better Divinity of Pride that can win games on its own. Occasionally, it will be the best card in your deck when you play it on turn 1, and with all the life gain, won't be too difficult to stay a 6/6. Blood Baron of Escopa may be another finisher worth considering, but has been fixed in order to not be broken in Commander. There's a wide variety of spells designed solely to gain you life, and the vast majority of them aren't good. Beacon of Immortality is one of the few life gain spells that is worth playing alone, as it has the potential to gain massive amounts of life and is reusable. The card can put you into triple-digit life totals easily with the right deck, this one. Life gain decks tend to have a hard time finishing, but you do have instant win conditions available, Test of Endurance and Felidar Sovereign. Test is a little harder to achieve, but also harder to kill, while Felidar Sovereign can win within a turn if you have managed to protect yourself. Alluro makes it easier to meet either of these conditions just by leaving it in the command zone to gain extra life. If you're looking to deviate from the life gain and focus on the artifact theme, Mycosynth Lattice and Sidri can combine to blow up your opponent's lands by making them into 0/0 artifact creatures. You will likely have to overhaul the deck if you're focusing on artifacts. A large portion of the deck has no synergy with artifacts, especially the life gain spells. Eternal Bargain is a control deck with a little more novelty through copious amounts of life gain. It's not the most powerful theme, but offers plenty of synergy and creativity for a Commander deck. This might be my favorite deck so far. As always, subscribe below for the latest and most reliable Magic the Gathering information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source, I'm Wedge, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.